Whew.
Okay.
All right, guys, I know we're going live now, so welcome everyone to the Southern Maryland delegation. As you guys know, we usually try not to have meetings if we don't have, something specific going on. And I know today we had Senator Van Hollen coming, but he has canceled. So this meeting could be short, but I also would like to discuss a few things since, we're no longer dealing with Senator Van Hollen. First of all, guys, I just want to make it clear that as the chair, I would never preclude a county commission from coming up here and discussing their woes, ills, and issues. But I would like it to be official, meaning not an individual from the commission. If they want to send their representative, then just send us a letter saying Southern Maryland, St. Mary's County, Calvert County, their representative would like to come speak. Because I don't want this to be a free-for-all, and I don't want this to get where individuals just coming up, just throwing firebombs. We've got Mark for that. But I want to make sure that we keep some decorum as far as the guests we invite. Everybody's free to watch. But when it comes to participating, I want to make sure that, we're not going to compel a delegation or a commission to come. But if they do want to come, I would like them to feel free to do that. Only in the understanding it has to be a commission, not an individual. So I know there's been some misunderstandings between St. Mary's and possibly some Calvert folks. And, Matt, guys, if people want to come, please, we can have them come next week. If there's something they want to voice. Normally, I don't do that unless there's a specific bill, but I know there is a specific bill in this case. And while it's made it through the House, it hasn't made it through the Senate. So it's still germane to what we do with up here, which is to the best of our ability, discuss bills that affect Southern Maryland. So if that's the case, please just give me something official and make sure it's, like I said, either a representative of the delegation or the commission or the commissioner, the entire commission. However you want to do it, I'm fine with. And also, and I just want to make sure we're all on the same sheet of music because I don't want to feel like I'm excluding anybody, but I'm not running a free-for-all. Secondly, I probably will just open the floor because I know we've been discussing a lot, and I gotta say that regardless of the way you feel on a specific issue, I'm very proud of Southern Maryland because we may be small, but you hear us coming. On that House floor, we are definitely represented well. And so I'm very proud of the work that we've been done, even if it's been fighting mostly with each other. So I'd like to open up the floor for any of the issues or any, and lastly, before I do that, if you have upcoming issues, we're not gonna set a meeting in unless you guys wanna discuss something, okay? If we want to keep, I don't want to do what we used to do in the past and have 2-hour meetings about much to do about nothing. But if somebody has a request, if they have a subject matter from this delegation, of course, we will address that. Okay. Now I'll open the floor up to any issues. Does anybody have anything they'd like to discuss?
The CT and ECM, there are a couple of bills. One of them is a Learman bill, and it deals with broadband. And is what the bill does is it essentially transfers the money from the rural broadband expansion to the urban areas. And so in other words, they would use the money instead of running the fiber or the cable to those houses that can't get it because it's so expensive and Comcast won't do that. They're literally, that bill, her bill transfers that money to Baltimore City where they already have that access. And yeah, so that's in our committee, but it does affect our region, obviously.
Hey, Mark, this is I know this is a little bit on your subject. Do you want to do a pre-draft because I don't know what my colleagues think on this one, but that's definitely not. I don't believe that's something we want to do. Is that something I would like some input that we would like to do a letter of opposition for?
Incidentally, by the way, it also heavily affects Prince George's County, especially Michael Jackson's district and Rachel's district, Delegate Jones's district, because there are huge swaths of Prince George's County that are just like us in Calvert and Charles and St. Mary's, where we just can't fiber to the house. Because although Comcast will say, "Hey, we'll do it for $20,000," you're like, "No, thank you. We don't want to pay."
Right. That's when was that bill presented?
It was probably a week and a half ago, so it's recent. It was
Okay.
recent.
And text me on that one too, because I want to see if that
Okay.
is at all. And if it does have legs, and we'll get involved. All right, just let me know. And also, guys, that's if you follow Mark's lead, when you see bills coming through your committee that you believe have a detrimental or positive effect on Southern Maryland, we can get involved because that's a very important one. And I don't know how I missed that. I might have been given another bill hearing, another committee. So, okay. Yeah, we'll work on that. Just text me today so I can talk to Derek.
Great,
Are there any other questions, guys?
So,
Senator Ellis?
yeah, thank you, Chair Wilson, colleagues. So our colleagues here from the House have sent us over a present in House Bill 655. And so thank you very much. And we appreciate you looking out for us and giving us an early Christmas present. So I know folks are watching who might not understand what we were talking about earlier in the big issue here, but that bill, House Bill 655, calls for the commissioner elections in all our counties to be based on districts instead of countywide. And I know there's some issues with that. Quite a few members oppose that in the House. And I know our commissioner president wrote a big op-ed opposing that bill. So the thing is, I'm not sure if we will talk about that today or if it's too controversial or, but yeah.
Senator, that's actually why I opened the floor. I thought that my Republican colleagues would be doing that. And like I said, because it's not dead, because it is still got to go through the Senate. I know, again, the House did not have the benefit when we voted of our Commissioner Collins' official view, our president's official view, or our commissioner's official view, because to my knowledge, they have now voted 4-1 against that bill. Again, at the time of the vote, at the time it was in Delegate Patterson's committee or on the floor, we had no knowledge of that. And again, this is a speaker's priority bill. She's tweeted out about it and all that. So as I've explained very clearly, I tried to explain to our commission, it is very difficult for us to oppose a speaker bill without any opposition or voice of our own county. All right, that's not something that we get to do just free-handedly. So, we follow along. There's no argument. If you don't have a better answer, then you better do what you need to do. So now, again, you have that opportunity in the Senate. I'm going to be working with the speaker staff as well, because honestly, with our commissioners, I'm not going to, I guess, changing their minds because they just didn't want to get involved to begin with. It seems it kind of spins things a little differently. The way the bill works for those listening is we have 3 types of government. We have charter, we have commission, we have code home rule. Commission and code home rule by this bill will now be forced to draw districts, and that you can only vote in the district that you are that you live in. That you're not going to, in Charles County, for instance, you would not be voting for 5 commissioners. You would be voting for the commissioner president and the commissioner of your district. And the same with Calvert and St. Mary's. I think Charles has slightly different because we are code home rule. We can decide if we choose to, by just a simple vote of the commission, to just have 5 at-large seats or 3 districts and 2 at-large seats. We get to determine the way the outcome of our district's going to be drawn. I don't believe Calvert and St. Mary's have that same benefit, but that's how legally I understood the bill to have been laid out. Again, there is so much confusion. So that's why I was opening up the floor today, without, just to see what our other colleagues think, because it is in the Senate. And, so just because something passes the Senate, that doesn't mean we get through the House, even if it was unanimous. And the same is true in the reverse. So, and for the St. Mary's and Calvert County delegations, you still have an opportunity to fight, the way you need to, as well as Charles County, for your bill, because it's going to be in the Senate. And that's why I was like, if you guys want to discuss it today, if you want to bring your commissioners on board next week to have a discussion, I don't believe we have anything, right, Joy? Joy, you awake?
Yes, we do. Yes, we have Mr. Patrick Hogan next week, but that's it.
Oh, man, that pad will be short. So if you guys want to try and organize something with St. Mary's, Calvert, and at least a representative or your commissioner presidents, I'm fine.
Do that next week. Let's do that next week. I agree.
Okay, but I need you guys, we can't compel them. So we have to ask them and they have to let Joy know that they're interested. It'd be great to get all three of them to give their opinions, to give their official opinions again. I'm sure you guys wrote letters of support, but basically also to answer questions, because if they lose that, which all three seem to, it's still time for them to answer, either, softballs from their colleagues or, fastballs from us. So you guys can organize that, St. Mary's, Calvert, and if we can, Delegate Patterson, if we can get Ruben, since he wrote that op-ed so bravely, he should have no problem showing up today or next Friday, and we can, address all this and get it all above board.
So Delegate Wilson, so you mentioned that the commissioners voted 4-1. You talking about different counties?
No, I meant Charles County commissioners voted 4-1 against this bill after it was already, on the floor through, after it already been, through second reader.
Okay. So
Yeah.
they waited a little late in that process over there in the House.
Let me also interject that the bill was heard in Ways and Means. There were persons, there was oral as well as written testimony. There was absolutely nothing from Charles County with regards to written or oral testimony. And so when we heard it, we had representatives from the district that's being affected, or county that's being affected. And so, my question is, it's already been voted on in the House. It is now on the Senate side. So a meeting next Friday, what is the rationale, again, to just air the concerns of 3 county commissioners with regard to their negative or failure to support the legislation because it had been heard in the Senate?
Well, because that's exactly right. So that way our senators are at least armed with information that we didn't have. And from their point of view, they can still make their own points of view. And also, try not to preclude individuals from thinking that they don't have, I don't want people to think they don't have a voice. Because it's still alive in the Senate, it's still an active bill that affects Southern Maryland. We have an obligation to let these individuals speak because it's still an active bill. And we have 3 senators who will be influencing the outcome of that legislation.
Yeah. And, also, could I just jump in? This is an opportunity for us to educate the members of all our communities about the process in Annapolis, okay? The legislative process in Annapolis is a bill is filed by any member of the House or Senate, and that bill is given a proper hearing. You have the opportunity for all the stakeholders to get involved, to send in testimony, to request to come to offer testimony up here in Annapolis. And so the process is based on state law procedures here in Annapolis. And so we just can't change that. So it's up to the folks back home to really understand the process, how things happen here in Annapolis, the state capital, and to work with us with the process that we have to deal with here, and not saying that, they don't understand the process or they were not given the opportunity to weigh in. Everyone has an opportunity to weigh in on every piece of legislation here in Annapolis. And so we just have to work with that process, be timely to really get in and participate in the process of legislation at the statewide level. And so I'm hearing a lot of that with a lot of bills when it's public, but the bills are public on public website. It's released early January if you pre-file a bill. And so that's the process. That's the opportunity to weigh in. And so we need votes, a majority in both the House and the Senate to pass legislation. And then, of course, the governor has to weigh in. So, I think we really need to emphasize this civic lesson as far as how the state government work. And so folks will understand and be able to weigh in at the appropriate time.
Exactly, Senator. I couldn't have said it better. And it also provides us, because I've read so many misgivings, things online, people thinking that, that this is a racial issue, and Southern Maryland runs better than that. Okay, and I want to make sure that all that's clear, because wherever you live in Southern Maryland, I believe we work very well together. We respect each other's time and each other's voices, even if we're in disagreement. So this gives an opportunity for each of us who either supported or didn't support the bill to also answer any questions, because to me, the truth is like gold. No matter what you do, how you heat it up or burn it or mix it, it's still gold. So if you believe in something, you'll always believe it. It'll always be that way. And this just gives an opportunity for people to, discuss. Again, this heavily affects Southern Maryland. And I don't like relitigating issues, but because this is still alive in the Senate, I want that opportunity. At the end of the day, it gives us a chance. If if you don't want to participate, I get it. But I just don't see I don't want to cut people's voices out.
Yeah, and could I just jump in again with this issue? So it went through the process, House Bill 665 in the House. It's over in the Senate. It has to go through the entire process here in the Senate. It'll be assigned to a committee, and the bill would have a hearing. And so the process is still working. Folks can still engage with their senators now. Like Senator Wilson mentioned, it's alive in the Senate. It has to go through the entire process, through a hearing in the committee, and there's a high percentage chance it will be assigned to the Education, Health, Environmental Affairs Committee. We do voting laws in that committee, and I serve on that committee over here in the Senate. And so, send your letters in, send your favorable or unfavorable opinion in to the committee and to my office. And so we really take all input from citizens seriously. And so it does have an effect. So the process is alive and well. So please, we will not change the process in Southern Maryland. Join the process. It's alive, it's working well. And so I just want to encourage everyone to really participate and to let their opinions heard. And we will listen. Thank you, Delegate Wilson.
Thank you. Hey, Jack, do you have anything to say? I feel like I'm leaving you out. We're good? Okay. Senator Jackson, anything? Can't hear you, bud.
Sorry about the notion about the Charles County Commissioners' input timing wise, but I had conversations with them as well as the Calvert folks. So Calvert let me know right off the bat where they stood, including the delegates and the senator and the commissioners. And I had spoken to the Charles County folks. I just didn't know about the delivery of the document, but we'll see. This holds.
Yeah, well, again, guys, so is there any other business we need to take care of or discuss? Okay, just remember.
Hey, Don,
I'm sorry?
Sorry.
Oh.
You didn't vote in the meeting minutes from last.
Okay, we've sent them, thank you, the meeting minutes from the last meeting that we had. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Okay, all those in favor of accepting the minutes? All those opposed? Okay, meetings have been moved and accepted. Any other business, Joy?
No, just I encourage the county commissioners, I guess from all three counties, to reach out soon so that I can add them to the agenda. I'll send that out usually on Wednesday when I receive the links. So yes.
Delegate Wilson, I have one thing.
Yes, Senator.
So we had a bill a couple weeks ago that we did where we got a letter of support for the SMATIC RAC bill, and moved on the Senate side. And I talked to Delegate Davis yesterday, and she is working on getting a hearing. But the bill originally started with Senator Jackson, and then it's now Delegate Davis. But the bill has not been scheduled for a hearing in the House whatsoever, which clearly it was a pre-filed bill. It was early. It should be. So if I could just ask if Joy could check on that, because it is a matter of that we represent with the Southern Maryland delegation, so that we can do what we can to get a hearing as soon as possible.
What's the bill number?
House Bill 639.
And it's currently under Delegate Davis, correct?
Yes.
What, do you know what committee that's going into, Delegate Davis?
It's an ENT.
It's ENT.
Oh, okay, they need to let that go. All right. It's not stuck in rules, right?
No, pre-file.
All right,
Pre-filed.
Joy, Joy, remind me.
CT, I'll check on that this afternoon.
That's right, thank you.
Please.
And I'll harass Kumar as well when I see him today on the floor, because they need to make that,
Thank you.
you guys. And
Okay.
I hope we can continue working like this, everybody working together. We can fight and brawl on the House floor, but in the Southern Maryland delegation, we definitely need to keep our decorum and work together. Look forward to seeing everybody today on the House floor. Any questions? All right, we can adjourn the meeting. Thank you guys very much for all those listening. Thank you for joining us. God bless.
Thank you.